Hey Chance, it's what? It's Thursday. Not exactly the Sunday upload that I promised, but it's been like almost 2 weeks since I did a video for you, and the first video didn't even really count anyway, so. Alright, a little backstory. In the time that you've left, obviously I moved into your room. I think I had done that before you had even left. We were unable to secure a house. We tried to stay here instead. That didn't work out, so now we're moving into an apartment, which the rent is cheaper. I think overall we're still paying less, even if individually some of our prices have gone up and down. Like the actual amount that we are outputting as a 5-person unit is less, so that's good. It's not an ideal situation. Some of us have to share rooms and things like that, so it's temporary until we can find a house, but you know, at least for a year, so that sucks. What else has been going on? Class is going pretty good for Tucker and I. Jessie finished her class, but I think she had done that before you had left. I think she's up for a promotion now. She got a raise, so that's cool. That'll definitely help us in the long run. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh right, Pokemon Go came out. Oh my god. So I'm sure that you've seen, if you have any sort of like knowledge of the outside world at all, if your brain is somehow connected to external stimuli, you are aware that Pokemon Go, it's amazing. I've been more active in the last week and a half than I have ever been in my entire adult life. I've actually lost 5 pounds. I'm still bloated as fuck because I need to stop drinking soda all the time, but like, oh my god, it's so good. I've hatched eggs, I've caught Pokemon, I've made friends with strangers, which is way easier now than it used to be. Not that it didn't happen before, but you know, it's the greatest. I'm a little sad that you don't get to be here for it, because I can like envision in my mind, I can imagine the two of us gaily skipping down the road, catching Pidgeots and whatnot, and having a grand old time. And I'm sure that you and I would have like a great conversation about like the metacognitive analysis of what Pokemon Go has done to us as a society. Speaking of metacognitive analysis, let's talk a little bit more about the things that we would normally talk about if we were together. I have been giving a great deal of thought to the nature of consciousness, in no small part from having recently read this book called Blindsight. I would highly recommend it. It is a Creative Commons book. You can download it online. I will post a link in the comments of this video, and then you can check it out. But it raises some very interesting questions, a lot of them in fact, but the one that I would like to discuss right now is, what is consciousness good for? Like, in my view at least, consciousness is an after-the-fact sort of phenomenon. Something happens, your body, and you know, overwhelming amounts of evidence say that the body does a thing long before you've decided to do the thing. And then as an after effect, your cognition, your ego, your I, it sees that this thing has done and comes to this conclusion that I must have decided to do that, which, you know, further bleeds into my whole idea that free will is nonsense. But like, what is the point? Consciousness is very expensive from like a biological perspective. It takes a huge amount of like caloric output. It bogs down systems with its existence, so there must be something valuable to it, right? I don't know, but I suspect that maybe there isn't. I mean, we can say that consciousness helps us in a lot of different ways in our society, but really what consciousness does is help us coexist with other people who have consciousness, which really gives no reason for consciousness to exist. And I suppose, from a biological or an evolutionary standpoint, that consciousness doesn't have to exist. It just simply does, eventually. But I would argue that in a wide universe of possibilities, consciousness is more than likely a mistake. I mean, certainly an accident, but I don't think it was necessarily the right road to go on for fitness. Maybe at the time when the conditions arose, it was an advantage, but I think in the long run, it's probably not. Which brings me to another interesting point of top-down versus bottom-up systems. Is as top-down as we like to build things as people with consciousnesses, I think that bottom-up tends to be the better route. Now, I know that this goes against what I was just saying about evolution being messy and giving rise to consciousness, which is nonsense, but generally, with a bottom-up system, you can reach like a local maxima for efficiency or fitness, if you will. And, you know, that's useful in that instance, but given the I guess, artificial stopping of evolution that we, for the most part, have created as a technologically advanced society, I think that, you know, it still is owed from us to us and the rest of nature to help evolution continue to occur. You know, and this bleeds into transhumanist ideals and things like that, but I think it's important, because we have artificially stopped at least our own evolution, that we need to pursue it through the means that we used to stop it, or else just return to the wild state and let evolution to you know, continue. And I know that there's an argument to be made that maybe evolution isn't necessary, maybe we should just be where we are and, you know, suss out the details of the way that we evolved to date and make that the most useful thing. But I mean, you know me, I'm a huge fan of personal evolution, and I don't think that there's any reason for us to like physically stop evolving either, even within our own personal lifetimes. You know, epigenetics is a good way to see that, but I'm talking about cybernetics and bionics and, you know, augmentations and things like that. Anyway, I don't want to take up too much more time here, because I've already thrown a lot of things at you that I'm sure that you'll have fun responding to. But one final note before I go, I just want you to know that we all still really miss you, and if people are given the chance, which I think I will make another video this week, where everyone else in the house has a chance to say hi to you, except maybe Sabine, because I know that she's a little camera shy. But I'll give them all a chance to say their piece to you. But this is you and me time. So I hope that this message finds you well, and I hope to hear back from you soon.